let's see here. Ooh, you know what I should do? I really should have this something open where I can watch the screen. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see what happens. Check, check. Check, check. Alright, I'm turning off the fan to see if that helps, because there's a lot of static. I can hear it. Hold on. Hold on. Let me change my mic. Switch it over to the other device and see if that helps any. I'm not sure if it will or not. Maybe it will. Yes, no. Alright, I just switched it. I don't know how that's going to do. Let's see here. Alright, just kind of messing with the audio settings. I may not even. Oh, does that help any? Let's see. Let's change the suppression level up just a little bit. Make myself a. No. Don't think that's gonna do it. Try that. There's a bunch of stuff. I don't even know what that means. Let's connect the filters. Use 33 as the default. Maybe it's some sort of plugin. I don't even know what that does. Compressor? I'm not really sure what that loudness, that crazy. Let's see here. I really wish I could have my YouTube. Yeah, see, the problem is I'm using the laptop as a camera to test this, so I can't really like type and answer chat or anything like that. Still don't understand where that's from. Compressor. Let's change this. Let's see here. Oh well, you know what? Let's do this. Let's change the actual device. Let's change the device for the audio and see if that makes a difference. Switch it back to the built-in microphone. But this time I've got the noise filter turned on, so hopefully that will help. And if I turn the gain all the way up, and take the compressor off. No, that's not really going to help. Shoot. Let's go back to the webcam. And let me just take the noise suppression filter off. Because it wasn't getting that crazy sound when I'll switch to that high-pitched squeal. See here. That still didn't help. Let's add noise suppression back. And then let's add gain. Let's see if that helps in it. Oh. Alright. No. It's almost like yeah, that's not going to work very well. Almost need like a USB audio, something I can stream into. The problem is with a Mac, I don't have that. And if I turn the gain way up on the webcam, it starts doing that feedback. Oh wait, let's see. I had turned that off on the Mac. I don't think it matters. We'll see what happens though. Alright, so now I've got it all the way up, not on the Mac. And is it still, I guess when I start talking it starts doing that, doesn't it? Alright. Well, let's see. Let's do the filters. Let's do the filters. Let me do the properties again. Nope. Alright, let's go with that. Hopefully this won't be too bad. Been streaming for 10 minutes. Alright, so I figured I would just kind of try to mess with this. I'm going to play a little bit. I probably won't finish this game, but I just wanted to mess around. As you can see, this is not my normal setup. This is my dog asleep. And so I'm just going to kind of mess with this, do some recording, and just see how this works, because I've not actually done this on the channel yet, and I'm thinking at some point I want to do that for a couple of things to do. Mainly I would really like to try to do this for the Tau City playthrough with the do a live playthrough with people. You know, I went through and did a lot of work on it already in a solo, but I'd like to do it live with everybody and see how that goes. So I guess I'll just start and we'll see how this plays out. I don't have any fancy scenes, unfortunately, so maybe one day, right? So this is Game on Games, Tiny Epic Galaxies. I also have Tiny Epic Galaxies Beyond the Black, the expansion, which I have set up here. I have mats for both of those. Tiny Epic Galaxies was, if you have watched my intro to the channel, one of the gateway games. One of the very first, I think it was the very first 2 or 3 games that I bought. It may have been the second, or third, but that's what I'm playing. So Tiny Epic Galaxies is you're basically trying to get 21 points, victory points for the game. You get victory points in a couple of different ways. The first way is to move around your track over here. So as you increase your empire level, which is what this outer ring is from level where you start, level 1 to 6, you get additional dice and you get additional ships to use to move around the planets. And so you're trying to get 21 points. Planets have have point values, and they also have basically abilities that you can use and trigger. And if you roll one of the 5 dice faces, and the dice faces look like this, I will kind of arrange these right quick. There's 6 different die faces, so you got that and that. We'll make sure I get them all on here. And yes, that, and that. All right. So at the top, the arrow-looking one to the left is move. That's how I move my ship from a galaxy to a planet, or from a planet to another planet. The one on the right is what do they call it? Activate colony. So that is how I either use colonize planets abilities, or how I upgrade my empire. In the center here are the 2 resources we use if we attempt to colonize a planet to move around the track. Each planet has a different number of spaces you have to move around to colonize it. Generally, the more spaces, the more points it is. And it's one of those 2 symbols to move around the track. Each planet is different, and of course they all have different abilities, which can be activated by that colony die on the right. Then we have the energy and culture die, and that are the resources that go onto our mats here on our track on the outside of our mat, and that is how we can take actions like upgrading our empire. There are cards that will require you to spend either culture or energy to activate its ability once you use the activate colony die. You can also, in a full multiplayer game, you can use culture to follow. So even if it's not your turn, you can use a culture to actually perform an action on somebody else's turn that they perform, or you can use a 1 energy point to re-roll as many dice as you want on your turn. So maybe you're trying to get something that you really need to get it or whatever. You can do that. In this case, in the multiplayer, if we spend on the AI's turn 1 culture and 1 energy, then we can force the AI to re-roll their die. So, which is very beneficial to us because they're looking at 21 points, but if they get to the top of their track, they automatically get to upgrade their empire if they get 5 energy, or if they get 5 culture, they get an additional 3 actions in addition to the normal number of dice they have, and they actually start out with 5, whereas we start out on our track with 4. So we're basically at a disadvantage with playing against the colony, the AI, and this is the easy one. The hard ones are just ridiculous. Maybe there's a method to the madness. I've played several times, and I have never been able to beat it when it was just Tiny Epic Galaxies, much less now with the expansion. So what did the expansion bring? Well, the expansion brought a couple different things. Number one, you can buy these ships up here. There are 4 different ships, and you do that by spending basically each ship. You can spend 2 of them. You can spend either energy or culture. 2 energy or 2 culture. That's 1 ship. The other one is 2 energy or 2 economic advancement, which is what we used to go around the colony tracks. And then there's movement and the activate colony. But these ships you can purchase, and they will replace one of the standard ships that you have, right? And when you do that, you can basically hire a pilot. And you hire a pilot based on the ship you get, and different pilots have different abilities, or not ability, well, they all have different abilities. Let me just show you an example of a pilot. But they all have can pilot different ships. So, for instance, this pilot here can pilot any ship she wants. She's rated for all 4 ship types. She's got a special ability down here. Not all pilots are like that. Some pilots can only do, for instance, 2 ships, right? You'll also notice that at the bottom, the pilots have a point amount, and they have these symbols, okay? So this is a new thing that was added in Beyond the Black, is there's now, in addition to points for the pilots and those abilities that they have that they can use, when it doesn't cost to activate colony die or anything like that. They can just use them. Each up here in unexplored space is this stack of basically tiles. It's kind of like planets, but it's not. But on each tile, you have a tile that's either good or bad, and it also has these symbols. And you basically can, as an optional thing, in addition to collecting the planets for points, you can collect sets. And in a normal game, whoever has the first, the most, and then the next most, and so forth and so on, get points. In solo, whoever has the most for each of the 4 symbols between these and the pilots will get points at the end of the game. And also, being in the unexplored region, if you roll the culture die, in addition to if you're on a planet, some of the planets have that, but also the unexplored space has that symbol, which is actually, generally speaking, at least in my experience, a harder symbol to get. So this isn't really a rules video, so I'm not going to belabor the rules, but that's just kind of a little bit about it. I do have the drone factory that came with the Kickstarter. I also have the super weapon. This mat came with the Kickstarter. I bought this other mat. It was a while after I had Tiny Epic Galaxies, but I found it super cheap online and like a closeout sale somewhere. So I do have those. I'm not going to use those in solo. There's no way to really implement those well in solo. They are super fun when you do multiplayer, though. And also, 21 points, depending on how many people you have, I found, you know, the game can go really quick, potentially. So, you know, board gaming is about having fun. So there have been times when I've played and just told myself, okay, I'm not going to stop at 21. I'm going to go to, you know, 31 or 41 or 50, just depending on how long the game I want. So, anywho, let's get started. So we're going to start with us. If we look on our track, we've got 4. So let's roll it up. I'll roll over here in the dice tray and show you what I got. Now, when I roll as a player, when you roll, you get to choose the order that you do these. When the solo player goes, you roll the die one at a time, and just whatever happens, happens. So, what did I get? I wish I could move those up. I'm gonna move these up. Again, this is kind of learning for me. So, all right. So what I got are those 4 dice. That's 2 moves, a culture, and an energy. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this energy die to get 2 energy. So I'm gonna move my energy on my track from 2 to 4. Once I get to 7, I can't have any more than that. One thing I did fail to mention is that I do get 1 reroll on my turn for free, and then after that I have to start paying for it. So movement, I'm going to go ahead and move both of these ships. I'll do them one at a time. So the first one, I'm going to move to this planet over here. I know you can't see it, but it's called, what is it called? Maya 5-point planet. Gives culture, which is why I did that. One of the reasons why I did that. And its special ability is discard 2 inactive die, acquire 2 energy and 2 culture. So basically you can get rid of some dice to get more resources on your turn. The second move, I'm going to move my second ship to Padrain 3110, which is over here. It is a 3-point planet. It gives culture, and its ability is spend 2 culture to advance +2 diplomacy. And then I've got my diplomacy die, so I will utilize my diplomacy die to get, because I have 2 ships on diplomacy, 2 diplomacy, which will put me from 1 to 3. Now, that doesn't seem like I did a lot, but I'm trying to set myself up for hopefully slowing the AI down a little bit. Now, what sucks about the AI too is when they roll either energy or culture on their mat, their mat has energy and culture, so whereas I just have energy, so it's a lot harder for me to get culture, and a lot easier for them to get culture if they're in their home galaxy. So you almost want them to move out and then try to manipulate their dice so that they can't move around the planets once they're out there. So they have 5 rolls. So we'll roll the first one. Diplomacy, nothing happens. Second roll, energy. Something would happen. I'm going to go ahead and use 1 of each to make them re-roll that. Movement. Okay, so the way movement works is, and I'm going to lay this down because it's easier when you have multiple people. If they have in their home planet a ship available, they move to the leftmost planet over here that does not have anybody on it. Well, actually, I don't have to do that. Yeah. In this case, so they're going to move to MJ 120-10, which is a 2-point planet. Diplomacy, its ability is acquire 2 energy, and it's worth 2 points, and it gives energy. So that's their second roll. And make sure I put the dice over here so I can keep up with it. Third roll, culture. I'm going to do the same thing again. Going to go to 2 energy, 1 culture, make them reroll it. They get diplomacy. That means they advance all of their ships, not just their single ship. All of their ships. Which in this case is fortunately just 1. So it's diplomacy. We have diplomacy, move, diplomacy. Now, if they ever get 2 the same symbol in a row, they automatically buy their the ship that's available, and they automatically take the pilot in the far left hand, right beside the deck. So we'll see how that works. Energy, they would get 4. I'm gonna need to keep some for myself, so let's go ahead for now give them 4 energy. They gotta be careful though, because if they get 1 more, they're upgrading their empire, and that's no bueno. We'll roll culture. They have no culture. That would be 3 culture. I'm gonna let them have it because I want to. Yeah, I'm gonna let them have it. So that's gonna go to 3. If they get 5 culture, they get 3 additional rolls. All right, so that was their turn. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, as Rado says. So let's go back to our turn. Where again we're rolling 4 dice. And there we go, there's a roll. Okay, so cool. Good deal, good deal. So the first thing we got is this upgrade, which I definitely want to do. So I'm going to use this activate colony die, and I'm going to spend 2 energy to upgrade to my 2nd level. So at this point, what that means is the next time I roll, I'll be able to roll 5 dice. That's number 1. Secondly, it means that I have 1 victory point, so I'm going to move my victory point marker to the 1 spot. And then I've got these guys. I'm going to use the diplomacy die to move my ship on the 5-point planet. And I can't do a move here, but I'm going to go ahead and reroll both of these, just maybe to get some, to see what happens. Oh, good, okay. So that is culture, and I'm on 2 planets, so I'm going to get 2 cultures, so that goes to 3. I think I need 4. No, I need 3 to the next one. Good deal. I don't have any energy to re-roll that, but I don't. Oh, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. No, I can't do that. Shoot. Yep, that's just unfortunately going to be a wasted die for me. Alright, that's my turn. Let's do the AI. So, first roll. Culture. I do not have anything to stop them, so that's going to go to 5. And second roll. Advanced economy. They don't have anything with that, so that does nothing. Third die. A move die. They don't. They're going to move 1 ship to the only other available planet, which is a diplomacy-based planet. Also gives culture. It's called Jord, 3-point planet, whose special ability is spend 2 culture to regress 1 enemy ship by -2. And fourthly, excuse me. That sucks. Alright, so when they roll the activate colony die, what happens is, I think they move that? Gosh, it's been so long, let me double check. Typically an attack and inspired. The actions are listed. Only action on there. Yeah, okay. That's right. So, whatever level they're at empire-wise, they're going to do this action. So this is Rogue acquires 1 energy. So we would add from 4. I think I should do. That's not going to work. It's going to end up being out of frame if I do that. They're going to acquire 1 more energy, which really sucks because now they have full energy and full. Full energy and full. Yeah, that's just straight bad. Okay, so movement. If they go roll a movement, now in this case we only have 4 planets because we have 2 players. You take 2 planets plus the number of players. So in our case, there's 2 planets plus 2 players is 4 planets. If on a move roll, all of the cards have a ship. Wait, you know what? Hold on a second. Let me read that again. Rogue actions. Oh, and I can follow the rogue actions, by the way. Gosh, I should have been doing that. No, not really. Well, yeah, I really hadn't had anything come up yet. Move ship. If any ships are still on the rogue routes, then that move 1 onto the leftmost planet that does not have a rogue ship orbiting. Oh. Doesn't matter if somebody's there. So actually, I'm going to fix this. I think I can fix this. I talked myself out of it earlier. So, boom, boom. So actually, the rogue came onto the planet that I picked first and is now tied with me for it. And it would have gone to the planet that I originally put it on first, but has not moved. Actually, yeah, I'm going to say it hasn't moved. I might have screwed that up, but that's okay. So that is the rogue planet's turn. It is now my turn. Remember, this time around, I roll 5 dice. And I get a whole bunch of nothing. Alright, so I've got 2. Okay, so I've got a couple options here. Either I could move around on the track, or I could get some ships. So I could get some pilots. Alright, so I think that's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, first of all, use these 2 move dice. Alright, and I'm going to purchase the Intrepid, which is this guy right here. And when I do that, I can replace any one of the ships I have in my, at my disposal, either on a planet or in my home galaxy, with this ship, which I will do now. Place him over here on this planet. This ship, let's see. Let's see here. This ship. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I take this symbol, this ship token. Then I'm going to pick one of the pilot cards that is available. And I'll pick pilot card. In this case, I'm going to choose Mega Hauler. And because the ship that I bought is a ship that I guess it'd probably be better if I showed it here. Because the ship that I bought is a ship that he knows how to pilot, I do not have to pay 3. So I'm going to take him, what you do is you place him on the symbol. You place him. You place him on the symbol that matches. Now you're supposed to lay that on top of the card there, but honestly, there's not really a lot of room to do that, so I'm just going to do it this way. And then you put your ship on whichever one he's actually piloting, just so that you know which ship has which pilot. So I'm going to put that right there. So that's one. The second thing I'm going to do is take these two symbols, the two advanced economy symbols, and purchase another ship. And I can't remember, let's see. 2 dice, add pilot your hand. That's what I should be thinking. What I'm trying to look up is if, as soon as I take a pilot, if that pilot, let's take the pilot card, place it hang on that, draw a replacement pilot. Okay, yeah. So as soon as I take one, a replacement one is drawn, so that would give me potentially somebody else for the next time around. So the next one is the Aurora. Alright, I think I'm going to take Scavenger for this other ship. Alright, and this is Scavenger. Can fly any ship. Basically, this is going to give me, whenever I land on a planet's surface, I'm going to get basically free resources. So he's not really going to be able to colonize well, but he will have me generate resources, which I'm going to need to help slow down the rogue planet. So he's got the Aurora, which is, and I'm sure that this was unintentional completely, what looks like, in my opinion, the Enterprise, and replace the other ship with it. And so there's the not Enterprise, and put that over there. Now the trick to this is remembering everybody's abilities. And then again, I have a move that I don't really honestly want to use. And I don't think converting dice. Yeah, you don't get anything for having extra dice. So if you don't use it, you lose it. And oh gosh, okay, I just realized something. I did not do the rogue's actions over here. So let's go ahead and do that. So first thing that happens is he moves up there, which means he gets experience points. Oh, I moved up on that too. So I got two pilots, so that's 2 more experience, so that's a total of 3. And that goes to 0, and then he gets actually got 3 more rolls. So that was a move. So it goes to this planet. It's also a planet that I'm on. And then he advances. Oh, advances on the planet we just landed on the following track. That's no good. And again, I don't have any stuff to stop him, so he's just going to do whatever he rolls with what he gets. And then Rogue acquires 1. With that roll, Rogue requires 1 culture. Alright, so that's his turn is taken care of. So then I did my turn. Sorry about doing that out of order. Next, how long have we been streaming for? 40 minutes. Wow. I've only dropped 1% of the frames. That's not bad. I don't think. I don't know. I guess we'll see on the playback. So, let's roll his AI's die again. Diplomacy. Oh, that sucks for us. He is actually on 2 diplomatic planets, so he's going to move up in both of those. So that's 1 die. Second of 5 dice is a move. He will move to the 4th card, so he now has... wow, this is bad. He now has a ship on every planet, and 3 of the 4 planets are diplomacy, so we really don't want him rolling diplomacy. Yeah, yep. Yeah. Well, okay, so I'm going to backtrack a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and use 2 culture to follow the first diplomacy he rolled and this next diplomacy he rolled. So he's going to move again. So basically, we're at least tied for the 5-point planet. He moves there, and he moves there. And his 4th die is culture. He has 1, 2, 3 culture planets, so he's going to go to 4 culture. And his final die is a move again, which does nothing. So we're good. So that was his turn. Fortunately, he didn't get anywhere on his track. It is now my turn with my 5 dice. I roll all of my dice. And let's see what we get. Okay. Oh, we did not replace this pilot last time. I apologize for that. Wow. Energy and culture, which is great, except that I don't have anybody on a planet with energy. It's everybody's on something with culture. I mean, now, having said that, no, and I've already, no, I could buy another pilot, I suppose. That'd be a 3-point. Oh man. So 3 of the 4 pilots have the ship that I want. That I can hire them for. If you don't have the dice, the matching dice, you can always spend 3 dice of any face to hire a pilot to pilot any ship. It's just cheaper if they can, if they're rated for a specific ship. Alright, I think I'm going to spend... I'm going to spend 2 energy, and I'm going to take this pilot here. It's called Opportunist. He can fly the Ambition, which I do have available. Basically, no, I'm not going to take him. I'll take that back, because that's all about landing on planets, and the AI is not going to really be landed on any planets. So I'm going to take this instead. The Ambassador. Basically, I can spend 1 culture per turn to advance 1 culture with a diplomatic advanced diplomacy roll, and basically get 2 movement. So just makes it a little bit more efficient to move on to diplomacy. So let's do that. No, wait, I can't do that. Shoot. I can't do that because I don't have another ship. Blast. Okay, well, I take all that back. But if I had another ship, that's what I would have done. So let's just take, while we can get it, I'll use the 2 culture to get 2 culture basically twice, so that's 4, which is going to put me at 5 culture. And then I'll use my reroll on these 3 energies. Ooh, nice. Alright, so so I'm going to use maybe I'll do it twice. No. So I'm going to use the first upgrade. Oh, this might work out very well. So I'm going to use this first activate colony to upgrade my empire, which actually unlocks another ship for me. Then I'm going to, that gives me another victory point, so that puts me up to 4. Then I'm going to, oh, and I got to spend my 3 culture, so I go from 5 to 2. Then I'm going to use my move action, move dice, to move the ship that I just purchased to the diplomacy planet. Although I think probably it's not going to do me much good, but at least it's energy. And that leaves me with something I can use. Oh, hold on. See, okay, this is exactly what I'm talking to you about. So the Mega Hauler, which is this ship here, he gets double resources instead of just 1 when you roll the die. So actually, he should have got 2 cultures a turn. So I should have got. I need 2 more culture because of that. And actually, that's perfect because that then lets me use this die again to upgrade my empire from 3 to 4, which gives me another victory point. So I have a total of 2 from my pilots and 3 from the track, so that's 5. And that ups the number of dice from 5 to 6. So yes, that was a good turn for me. Sorry, I missed that. Like I said, once you start getting all these pilots out there and the abilities, and you can change pilots, and it gets crazy. Okay, so next is the AI's turn. Yeah, 14 minutes. I'll go for an hour maybe. Start rolling his dice. He is still at 5. If he goes up 1 more level, though, he'll be at 6 dice. So, gosh. Rogue requires 1 culture. Dang it. And he's going to get 3 rerolls this turn. Second of 5 dice. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's the difference. If we weren't playing with the expansion, this wouldn't do anything. But since we are playing with the expansion, since he rolled this a second time, 2 in a row, that actually means he buys that ship if it's available. So, and the action that is normally associated with advanced colony that would happen from over here does not happen. So he is going to buy, that's going to be the Nexus, and he always takes the leftmost pilot. And so that's going to go over here. And Nexus. Oh, I guess that makes sense. I guess I'll just replace the leftmost. And that goes on. Is that actually about? This pilot is flying. This bottom one. Alright, so when that happens, everything moves down. We replace it. And they get, he gets an additional point for that. And look in here. Oh, it's something like that. Yeah. So, So they can't use the abilities of the pilots. They just basically take them out of the pool, steal them from you. But they're still worth the points. They just don't use the abilities. So third die. Oh my gosh, there's nothing. I mean, I guess that's okay. Now I have culture, so any of these rolls I could actually follow if he would roll something that was actually useful for me. Okay, moving on the track, the advanced colony track. Oh, wait a second. Let's go back. I mean, I'll keep that roll, but no, I can't do it. So, advanced colony, advanced economy. So he's going to move on the one planet, and that's he's now on track 2. All he needs is 2 more to take the planet, but I am going to spend a culture to follow that move, since I have extra culture from last turn, and do the same. So maybe I can get there to the end before he gets there, which would be great. So that's his 4th die, and his 5th die is energy. He has 1. Just 1? Yes, indeed, just 1. So he gets 1 energy. I don't have any energy, so I'll go ahead and sacrifice the culture to do the same. And I will get just 1 energy as well, but at least I have 1, right? Cool, so that's his turn. It's now my turn. Roll the dice. Now remember, I rolled 6 this time, so that's good. So what do we got? We got some movie moves. We got some movie moves. Culture. Alright, so I think I'm definitely going to take the culture. And remember, because of my mega hauler, I'm going to get 3 on the planet. 2 resources on the planet he's on, and he is on a planet with culture. So this 1 die actually is going to give me 3 culture, so I'm going to have a total of 5, which is nice. Then, okay, so then I've got 2. Yeah. When your ship lands on a planet's surface, you immediately acquire. Oh yeah, and which one was that? Yeah. This is going to be perfect. So I'm going to use the next 2 diplomacies to move my ship that was on the very first planet that I landed on around the track, which is actually going to colonize the planet. So when that happens, all the ships that were on the planet go back to the player's maps. He needs to get out of my galaxy. That's not his galaxy. So all mine are there. So I set these like this if I can. Probably run out of them. But I get the card. So now I have 5 points. And I have this ability, discard 2 inactive dice to acquire 2 energy and 2 culture. So if I do some rerolls and I still can't use some dice, then that's a good way to do that. So what happens is I'm going to put that over here, and I'm going to put this underneath my map like so. So now I can spend a die. If I roll this, right, I can spend that dice and activate this ability in addition to the normal upgrade ability that I have. So that's good. We immediately replace the planet. Then, okay, so then I'm going to use the move, and I'm going to move this guy, except I'm going to land on the planet, on the planet's surface. So that's going to give me 1 energy because of his special ability. And then yeah, that's really all that's going to do. The ability, so when you land on the surface, you just use it like as a one-shot. You use the card's ability of the planet. So the planet came out as BSW 10-1 energy. is what it gives. It is a diplomacy planet worth 5 points, and its ability is regress one of your ships -1, then advance another one of your ships +1. I only have 2 ships on a track, and one of them is at 0, and one of them is at 1, so it would be a wash. So we're not going to do that. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do something else. I'm not going to land on that planet. I'm going to land on a different planet, which gives me culture. So my culture goes to 6. But its ability is spend 2 culture to regress one enemy ship by -2. So I'm going to spend the 2 culture and go from 6 to 4 and move the ship on this 3rd planet here, because he only needs 2 to get it. I'm going to move it back 2, which means he's at the start, so I'm actually now ahead on that planet. Nice. Okay, cool. Cool. Just something to note, I cannot go from the colony track to the surface of the same planet using a move dice. I would have to move to a different planet, either on the colony track or on the surface, and then move back. Then I'm going to use... then I'm going to use both of my advanced economies. Let's see now. Both of my advanced economies for the 1 planet that I'm on that has economy, and go to the 3 position. All I need is 1 more, and I'll have that planet. Cool. That is my turn. So I always try to double check my score. So I've got 3 from the planet. From the Empire level, 3 victory points. I now have 5 from the planet, so that's 8, and then I have my 2 pilots, so that's a total of 10. Alright, so that was my turn. Rogue planet goes next. And dang it, I did the same thing again last time. Shoot. Alright, they get 3 additional, had got 3 additional actions last time, so let's do those first. Energy, there we go, 1 more energy. Culture, there we got 3 culture. And I would not have been able to stop these, so. And then culture again, and they did not have that. They did not have that card, so they're gonna take. Man, they're gonna take the ambassador card. That sucks. I really wanted that card. A really good card. Try to find anything else to actually pick these up. It'd be great. Of course, I guess if I sleep on these, I could do that, but I'm not a big sleeper. Alright, so that's this, right? Culture, no, that's not that. That's this. It's the ambassador. We'll replace, again, I'll just go to the leftmost, we'll say that one. And that's going to be... first one. Because actually means you can pilot normally. Alright. So she's in that one. And that means they have an additional point. So that means they've got a total of 1, 2, 3 points now. And do I want to spend a culture? I'll spend a culture to get 2 culture, which that'll basically net me 1, so that'll take me to 5. There's no reason not to do that. Actually, I will have done that both times. So I will be at 6. And I'll do that. I've done that one more time for the original. Okay. So I'm caught up. I'll try not to go back and like retcon that again. Alright, fourth die. Diplomacy. But, hold on. I'm going to spend 1 energy and 1 culture, because diplomacy would give them a 2-point planet and moving along on another planet, so I'm going to make them reroll that. Gives them energy. Energy is just going to give them, it's going to give them 2 energy. Yeah, 2 energies. I'll take them to 4. And the final die is a movement. So this ship is going to move to BSW 10-1. And that is their turn. Alright, so now it is my turn. What we got? So we got some, man, I'm rolling a lot of culture. I never rolled this much culture, guys, I swear. It's just kind of freaky. That does not happen. Okay, so, well, this may work out for us. So, first things first, I'm going to go ahead and use culture. So that is going to give me, make sure double check, make sure you know the hallmarks for one do that. Yes. So that's going to give me 3 culture. It's going to take me from 4 to 7, so that's the max. Then I'm going to use this activate colony to upgrade my colony. So I've got to spend 5 culture or 5 energy. I'll spend 5 culture to unlock that. That's going to give me net an additional 2 points, so that should get to 12 if I do my math right. And that's going to take me from 7 to 2 culture. Then I'm going to use the culture die again to get back to 3. 1, 2, 3. Then it's really, I need 6 though. Go all the way up. I can't convert at this point. Okay, well, that's alright. I'm gonna post this. So that's the master. So these move down. I guess I'll do a movement to move this guy to this first planet. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to land on the planet to regress one of the enemy ships by 1. So I'm going to move on the 2 planet back 1, and I can advance another one of my ships by 1, which I will advance the one on Hadrain, which will actually colonize the planet, which is awesome. So that sends him back. I get this card. It's a 3-point planet. Spend 2 culture to advance plus 2 diplomacy. That's one I actually wanted. So if I can manage to land on some diplomacy planets, I'll be doing real good. Yep. Cool. So that gives me 3 more points, which would be from 12 to 15, I think. Then I've still got my 2. Still got these 2. I'll use this diplomacy to move my guy on the diplomacy planet, so now I'm at least follow him, and then I'll use my 1 reroll on this culture because it's not really going to be anybody good. And I get, okay, so, oh, this is going to be perfect. So I'm going to use this to activate my spend 2 culture to advance plus 2 diplomacy ability of this colonized planet. So I'm going to spend 2 culture, it's going to take me from 5 to 3. And I'm going to go 2 diplomacy on MJ 120210, which is actually going to have me colonize that planet. So that's going to happen. That's going to go back. Theirs is going to go back. I'm going to get this card. And put it underneath here. That's just to acquire 2 energy, not anything fancy schmancy. But it does give me another 2 victory points. That's 17. Wow. AI is really not doing very hot. And we'll move this over. Of course, this is easy. But I'm just doing this as a test, so that's okay. So that's the end of my turn. It is the AI's turn. They're rolling 5 dice. So first energy. You're going to get 2, 3 energy. I think I'll spend 1 and 1 to make them reroll that. It's movement. Alright. And then move their special ships out first. I don't think there's really anything that tells you which one you have to move. But it doesn't really matter since they can't use abilities. So that's movement. That's 1 die. Second dice is rogue requires 1 culture. So they go from 3 to 4. And I have no energy, so I can't stop anything that happens from this point on. Then they get energy, which is at least 1, so they're upgrading this turn. So now I want them to roll like energy or yeah, anything to roll energy. Culture. Move up that too. And the final die, diplomacy. They're on 3 diplomacy planets, so they're going to move up 1 on every single one of those. Yikes. So at the end of the turn, we'll evaluate this up here. So they're going to get another level, which now means they get another total victory point. So that takes care of Howard. And then this culture at the highest level gives them 3 more dice. Now, if for some reason they got either 5 power or 5 culture during these 3 rolls, they would not get their bonuses of the Empire upgrade or the additional 3 rolls. So, alright, energy. So that's 1, 2, 3 energy. That's the first die. Second die is culture, so you're going to get 1, 2 culture. And the third roll, there are no planets with that, so that's it for them. Alright, back to us. We're rolling 6 dice again. Let's see if we can get something going on here. Alright, so first thing I want to do is I want to move. I'm going to move one of the ships from here over to diplomacy planet. Actually, yeah. Then we'll use some other armor. What's he doing? Use that. Oh, he's not on plane. Hold on. We're gonna move him instead of this other. Then we're going to use the energy die to get 2 energy. Point. Then we're going to use the culture die to get a total of 3 culture. I'm just going to put my culture at 4. Then we'll use. Then we're going to use this activate colony die to activate the ability of my planet here, which is acquire 2 energy, so I'm going to go from 2 to 4. Then I think I'm going to reroll these 2. Okay. Well, this is perfect. Okay, so I'm going to use the culture to get culture again, which is going to give me 3. So I'm actually going to max out. That's going to be my max of 7. Then I'm going to use this to upgrade my empire again. That's going to put me at the highest level. It's going to add 3 more points, and it's going to give me 7 dice to roll. So probably next turn I've won this thing. But again, this is easy. Usually it takes a lot more than this. On the hard ones, it's ridiculous. I've just been getting some really lucky rolls in. So let's do the AI for the adversary. And its name. Oh, I'm doing a medium galaxy. Wow, they've just been not rolling very well for them, I guess. Its name is Blauis. It's one of the new ones from Beyond Black. First is a move. Moves to about there. And he, by the way, has 6 dice this time. Second one is an energy. Oh, I didn't spend all my energy, so that's going to be 1, 2. That's going to be 2. I'm going to make him reroll those. That's movement, so nothing happens. Oh, actually, what does happen is he replaces one of his ships with a pilot. So he's going to take the first pilot in the row. And it's going to be its movement, so it's going to trip it. And it's going to replace, again, I'll do just the leftmost. I'll do it wrong guys again. It's intrepid. It's the very bottom. No, intrepid is this one. Alright, so that's that, and I don't have any culture to follow, so I'm just rolling dice for him. Okay, what does it say? Rogue takes 1 exploration card from top of deck. Okay, so it's the first time we've got this. So this is the exploration cards. He takes 1 from top. I do not get to see it. It's just going to be worth points for him. So we'll put that over there for him. His planets would not count with their abilities either, so if we get a planet, you can't use their abilities. Next roll. Wow, okay. So the way this works, I believe, let's see. The special rules for the solo, and that is the wrong place to look. So it says hiring pilots. Advanced ship top available. The second die of the master player is activated with its action. The Rogue Galaxy no use pilots. Oh, it ignores hiring a pilot if the ship is not available on the hangar map. So in this case, we've actually already purchased that ship. And if that's the case, then the Rogue Galaxy performs a second action die instead. So it would just be a normal action, so which actually means he draws another one of these. So, there you go. And he's got 2 more rolls. That's a move, which does nothing. And the final roll is another move, which does nothing because we have already purchased. We've already purchased the ship that you would buy with moves. So that is his turn, and fortunately, he did not upgrade his galaxy. So that sucks for him because I'm fixing to lay waste. Now, so that's 2, 3, 4. He actually has 5. I'm sure we did one somewhere on the way. Of course, we don't know what he's got on those 2 badges, but I can imagine it would be enough to get them really close. And we're at the top level, so we can roll all 7 dice. Here we go. So, what do we want to do? Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the move first. And I'm going to move my ship from this planet over here to unexplored space. And when I do that, I get to draw a card and I get to look at it. And I can either choose to keep it or get rid of it. So this is what I drew. If it's got a green border, that's a good effect. Red is usually a bad effect and you have to stop. You don't get a chance to put it back. If I decided to, let's say that I decided to, well, I'll just do it. Yeah, I'll just do it. So let's say that I decided that I wanted to press my luck. There's 3 spots here, so I'd place it here and I would draw another one. I can do this up to 3 times. I look at that one and I say, okay, do I want to keep it? Maybe I want to press my luck again, because that's not got as much stuff as the other one did. And I pull another one. Okay, alright, so boom. When I pull this one, I have to stop. I get to keep it, but it has a negative consequence. And some of these even have your ship has to go on this track. There'll be a track just like a planet. It has to go around before you actually get the badge. So there's a negative consequence. It says lose 2 resources of your choice. Well, the only thing I have is energy, so boom, boom. And then I get the badge. But the good thing is on these danger cards, you see there's 3 symbols there. Typically you have more symbols on these than you do on a regular green one. And because the green ones have less symbols, but they give you more resources. The red ones take your resources, but they give you more symbols. So that's how that's working. So that was my move. Then I'm going to do another move. And I'm going to go up here with my other ship. And once again, I forgot to replace that pilot. But everything slides down because it was this AI that did it. And I'm going to take the derelict space station, which is going to give me 1 energy and 1 culture, so boink. Then I'm going to contemplate what I'm going to do next. Yeah, really. Oh, so okay, here we go. No, I can't do that. Shoot, I need some more culture. Yikes. Alright. Alright, so use diplomacy to move the 1 ship I have on the planet. It is diplomacy around the track. Then I think I'm going to reroll the move. And reroll energy, because neither one of those are going to do anything for me right now. Oh. No, can't do that. Can I do that? Yeah, okay, so then I'm going to use this activate colony to activate this planet. Discard 2 inactive dice. So I'm going to discard the move and the energy to acquire 2 energy and 2 diplomacy. So I discard those. So that's I'll go to 4 and 3. And then actually, I think these are supposed to be laid face down so that nobody knows. They don't count towards your points on the track to determine the end of the round. Only planets do, and you're this tracking, and these are bonus points basically. Can't upgrade. I guess I'll just use this to activate this ability, which is spend 2 culture. So I go from 3 to 1 to advance plus 2 diplomacy. I could split that among multiple ships if I needed to, but in this case, I only have one on a planet, so he'll go across, and that's the end of my turn. All right. Here. That's what I'm going to. So you can see me rolling. Alright, so AI's turn. Move, he can't move. He's rolling 6 this time. Diplomacy. Wow. Yeah, that's okay. I don't need to move. He's moving everywhere. Ooh, I don't want to let him do that again, because he would get a planet. Another move, which does nothing. An energy, which gives him 1, 2. Just gives him 2. So he's going to go from 3 to 5. Not ideal, but that's okay. This number 5 die is diplomacy, but I'm going to use the energy and a culture to make him reroll that. It's going to be a move, which is going to be nothing for him. So that's 5, and his last die is another move, which again is nothing because he already has that pilot. So that is his turn, but at the end of his turn he does increase his empire level, and energy goes away, which gives him an additional point. So he's up to 1, 2, 3, plus his track 3, 6. So that's where he's at. It's now my turn. I roll. Let's see, we're definitely keeping one of those. Actually, let's use this to move. That's my dog walking nicely. That gives me this planet. And then I'm actually going to reroll all 6 of these. Let's see what we get. Put that planet out here. Well, I haven't bought that ship yet, so why not? This is a couple extra points. Alright, so I'm going to spend 2 energy to buy the ambition, and I'm going to use the edition. I've got 2 options: the Peacekeeper and the Analyst. I think I'm going to go with the Peacekeeper. That's a pretty cool card. Again, if I could pick it up, it would be better. So the Peacekeeper basically locks people from getting past you on the track. Pretty cool card. So we'll put him right here. Oops. And we'll replace just one in the home world. So right there. It really matters. And actually, I didn't think I had room, but I think I do actually. Get that back there. Let's get this up. See if these are technically in the right. Got sausage fingers, guys. There's over. I'll replace And so I can't do anything with the rest of those, so I'm actually going to use an energy to reroll all of those. Which I think I can 8. Reroll all those. It's going to give me 2 energy. There's a move. Doesn't matter anymore. If I move my person. Oh, yeah, so if I move my scavenger, I can do that. So I'm going to move my scavenger with my move dice. Right, chion. And I'm going to move the scavenger from the out there to yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'm really just trying to get. So what planet I landed on, what I would get for landing on the surface is actually not going to, basically not going to help me. I can't do anything with it. But because it's a scavenger, I do get the resource for it, which is why I did it. Actually, I take that back. We're going to do energy. Why are we going to do energy? Because that will give me another energy to reroll and get a whole bunch of stuff that I don't want. Nice. Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to use this. I'm going to take these two dice and use a converter and convert this third one into a move. And that move, I'm going to move one of my ships from over here. It doesn't really matter. To unknown space. And I'm going to choose to draw one of these cards. And I'm going to keep Rare Metal Moon. Rare Metal Moon. That gives me immediately 2 energy. So that's going to put me up to 4. And yep, that's my turn. Now I believe 8, 6, 7, 10, 13. Yeah, that's 21 right there. So that puts me right at 21. Right? 6, let's see, 8, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, no, that doesn't put me at 21. So I'm at 19 still. It's 21. Oh, because I was trying to get a planet and I didn't get a planet. I thought I had 21. Hold on. 8, 7, 5 and 2, 7, 10, 13. Plus 8. Yeah, that's 21. Okay, I'm not crazy. That's 21 from there. 22, 23, 24 with my pilots. That's what I was thinking. You know, I got the planet that did it for me. Okay, so that actually triggers the end of the game. I mean, this was obviously a blowout because it is the easy planet. So what we do next is we count points on these guys. So some of them have points, some of them don't. I actually do not have any points for those. Let's see, AI also has no points for those. Lovely. Then we would add up whoever has the most badges. So let's just do it like this. All these ships and stuff will come off. Alright. Now one of the cool things they've done with these pilots is they made sure that when they did these cards, that all the badges on the bottom of the line, so you can actually just kind of set them all right there like in a row and say, okay, he's got 2, 3, 2 of this one, none of this one of that one. Makes it a lot a lot easier to track. And then, of course, you still have to add the planets in, but the planets are actually the same way. As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, I think you can that's not as easy with planets. But best we can. Alright, so let's see what we got. Let's get this up. Let's do all that up. Yeah, there we go. It is set here. We can see everything. Alright, so we start with, there's 4 different badges. So we'll start with the leftmost badge, which is this moon looking thing. I have 1, 2, 3. He has 1, 2, 3. It's a wash. I don't need bonus points. This middle one, which is this this emergency triangle, I have 2. He has 1, so I get the most. That's the bonus points for that are 2 points for that. So I'm going to go from 24 to 26 for that one. Then we have the purple 1, 2. I have 3. He has 1. That's 2 more points for me. 26 to 28. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 black. He has 2 blacks. That's 2 more. So that's 30. So I mean that's 30 to 6. I absolutely destroyed him. But anyhow, I just thought I'd throw this up out there on the old internet. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if it's crap, I'm going to be listening to it just to see how it did, and I may take it off the page. So if you see it, if you manage to see it before I do that, just know that basically this was a test, just FYI for you. So thanks for joining me if you were joining me, and I will see you guys later on in another episode. Oh, look at that. Is anybody in live chat? Oh, wow, Eric's actually... What? Dude. Wow. I did not realize that I should have had the live chat up. Dang. Okay. Alright. I am signing off to Eric, who I will see Saturday. Oh, by the way, Eric, well, Remy, Eric, who is also in the chat with you, is the guy that I'm gonna go. He's my best friend. I'm gonna go to his house Saturday and unbox Massive Darkness. I have the box here. Let me just show you the box because why not, right? So let's lift this up so you can kind of see. So this is, oh my God. This is the box. It is basically the length of my torso. And it is 20 pounds. Yes, I said 20 pounds. Like legitimately 20 pounds. So, be looking forward to that soon. And so thank you guys for watching. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.